Two things very quickly. First, I want to thank Oak Ridge for being here. A lot of members of Oak Ridge sitting back there. And number two, I always wanted to be a good song leader. I'm telling you, I used to strive every day. I still do. You know, I practice at home and I try to get those pitches down pat, you know. But I used to notice they have these little pitch pipes. They don't work for me. I don't know what they do, you know. But anyway, you're supposed to blow them or something. And they make a sound, and then you take the sound and go, what that is, I don't know. But they got some new ones. Those are the ones you put in your mouth. But they got one now to put it to your ear. He got one now I've been seeing him stick to his ear. And so it's a new thing now. I never seen that one before, so I'm going to ask him about that one and try that one and see if that help me out a little bit. You know, that brother can sing, you know. He sounds like he from the country down there, you know, in the country. It's good to be back with you. It's good to be talking about some more important things as we, it's going to be very practical all this week, as I said this morning. And this morning I got a lot of comments from the lesson, about some of the points in the lesson. And I'm glad that that lesson impacted your life. I'm glad it spoke to some things that you were going through in your life. This lesson here will be no different. I'm taking this lesson from people's lives that they live on a daily basis, even from my past, from your present, from your future. Whatever it is, this lesson is about you. It's about me. So stop asking me where I got my information from and just take the lesson and apply it to your life where it needs to be applied. And the title of my lesson today is called Unconditional Christianity. This is a tough subject. Because I know by the time I get, start going through this subject, somebody's going to say, that's impossible, Brother Edwards. Listen, I am the first to admit that the Christian life is hard. Preaching is not about saying how easy something is. Living for God is not about how easy it is. We must get out of our minds how hard the road is and just focus on traveling. Yes, it's hard. Christianity is hard. Jesus did not walk the road to Calvary and then turn around and tell you it's going to be easy for you. No. But what would you rather do? Would you rather be crucified on a cross like Calvary? Or would you rather endure some of the things that you go through in your life right now? You answer that question for yourself. I don't know about you, but I'll take the latter. I don't want to be crucified on the cross. I can't imagine the pain. I'll be glad to take some of the stuff that Satan throws at me and some of the things that he throws at you. Satan wants you because you are a child of God. He wants to take as many of God's children to hell as possible. And that's something that we need to keep in mind. So I ask you a question. How many of you have ever been at the church building on a Sunday morning or a Wednesday and you came in just like today, man, you just so excited and so edified from the singing today. That brother come up here and he hit these high notes, woo-hoo, and that stuff just, it revs you up. I mean, you're ready to tackle the world next week. Anything Satan has to throw at you, you're ready for it. Because you're fired up. Your battery is charged. Every cylinder is hidden. And then Monday morning comes, you get on your job and somebody says something to you out the way and you let them have it. You leave here, you're going down the highway and your spouse says something or does something that just irritates you and you let them have it. You go to Walmart and that cashier she's just so rude. You don't do me like that. And you let her have it. Ever happened to you? You might as well say yes. But guess what? That's what you call conditional Christianity. That is, I would be a Christian as long as you don't push my butt. Because when you push my butt, I am going to go off on you. Conditional Christianity. Conditional Christianity says, I'm going to give 50%, and that other person has to give 50% too. I'm not going to let them treat me any kind of way, okay? Well, let me tell you something. If that's how you feel about Christianity, then you will never be able to give God 100%. You know why? Because the other 50%, you're looking for somebody else, they're going to always let you down. The verse that my brother read says, love the Lord your God, not with half of your heart and half of somebody else's heart. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. Well, Brother Edwards, I don't have all of that. Well, you need to try to work on getting it. Exercise. Do some spiritual push-ups. Do some spiritual curls. Sit-ups. Do some spiritual jogging to get your spiritual body in shape. But whatever you need to do, you need to exercise to the point to where you can be strong enough to be a Christian regardless of how anybody treats you. That's hard. I know it. We're going to look at 3 areas today where it's hard at. But I think they cover everything. On the job, relationships, and in our daily activities. Beginning first of all on the job. Y'all turn your Bibles. Remember, get your Bibles in front of you. Turn over to Ephesians chapter 6. I want you looking at these verses with me, checking behind me, making sure that what I'm saying is actually there. What if you were on a job and your boss man, boy, he or she talked to you any kind of way? They call you all kind of names. They low-rated you and degraded you and whatever other kind of terms you can use there for a synonym. And you just, I tell you what, they curse you. Hey, how would you respond in a situation like that? Would you quit that job and just go find you another job, or would you stay there and give them some trouble too? As long as you stay there, you're saying, well, I'm willing to put up with this. And if you're willing to put up with that, then that's a choice you make now. But as long as you stay there, you are under that employer. As long as you stay there. In Ephesians chapter 6, beginning in verse number 5, Paul deals with this relationship. He deals with this employer-employee relationship. Master-servant at this time, but same thing. In verse number 5, Paul says, bondservants, be obedient to those who are your masters according to the flesh, with fear and trembling and sincerity of heart as unto Christ. Notice what Paul says here. Paul says, now these people may have not had any choice. Some people did have choices at this time. Some of them did. But we're talking about the employer-employee relationship. You've got a choice on whether or not you want to work for that person. No, I don't, Brother Elvis. I got to feed my family. Listen here. I don't care who you got to feed. You got a choice to work. You can work and feed your family, or you can quit and starve. That's your choice. There's nobody making you work. If you want to eat, you better work. Or starve. Or take all my money through taxes. It's a side note. That's not even in my list. Let me write that down. And so, we choose to work for a certain employer. And if we get there and we don't like the environment and we can't find another job, don't quit. Learn how to deal with the situation. Notice what he says in verse number 5. Be obedient to those who are your masters according to the flesh with fear and trembling. We are supposed to conduct ourselves on our jobs with fear and trembling. Not fear and trembling because we are afraid of the person that we're working for, but fear and trembling because we are afraid of the one who created the person that we're working for. Well, that's good, Brother Elvis, but I don't care what you say. If that man is harsh to me, God does not expect me to treat this man right if he is harsh to me. I beg to differ. Turn your Bibles, if you keep your finger right here, and turn your Bibles over to 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse number 18. Keep your finger here and turn to 1 Peter 2:18, and let's read this together, because I knew one of you all was going to say that. I knew it.